Hi everyone, Indez here. Well, today I'm gonna bring you a PvE spec that it is even more powerful than the one that I shared a few days. These are shared by these nuts on my Discord channel. I know, good nickname, but let me tell you that it is very powerful, and it is all about just doing massive damage. You just do massive damage, and look at that. I'm gonna do like a proper test so you guys will be able to see, but I am doing the highest damage that I ever done on my character, and of course on Tempest, because like Bard doesn't do as much damage as Tempest is not supposed to, because it is not a class, DPS class. But let's go here, dive into the skills very quickly. Crosswinds, Roiling Surf, is this gonna be the ones that you're gonna put like buff up, so your primary attacks, they just become like extremely powerful and extremely strong. Then we have here the Squall. This is gonna be your movement skill, but this, not only that, is gonna put a buff on the target that's gonna explode and do massive damage after 3 seconds. And then we have the Vortex. A lot of people usually they use the AoE farm with a Vortex, with a Geyser, but this one, it is like you put it below the target, it will do crazy damage, and also it's gonna do some armor break, which is gonna be super good. So let's dive in very quickly into the build. We have here Look Leeward. This one, it is the one that I was telling you, that the Squall now is gonna mark the target, and after 3 seconds it's gonna do like a massive explosion. So the way you want to do is like you engage, you put the Squall, if you see here on the target on top, it's gonna now blast, and then you put it again, and like it's just like you just keep applying it. Let's have in mind, every 3-4 seconds you just keep spamming the Squall. It is gonna be extremely good. Now we have here the Slippery Shell. This one, it is gonna give you a stack of damage up to 24% damage, because like as you keep spamming your Squall, you're gonna see this buff here. Man, I have like so many buffs, but here I can stack these until like 3 times, and this is giving me 24% more damage. So a lot of damage coming into the build. We have the Shoal. The Vortex now shatters enemy armor, increased damage taken up to 28.5%. This is incredible, man. We are having a armor shred on the target. If you see here the 4 stacks on top, it is very good. Then we have a Wind Sweep Promises. This one here, well, it's just gonna make your Zephyrs, also is gonna increase your attack speed by each one you control. So you want to put as many Zephyrs out as you can. Now we have here, man, the Skid Parter, man. This one is the one responsible for throwing the bananas, man. These bananas, it just changed. For me, this is like the best instance that it came to Tempest. When I played Tempest, it was a completely melee class most of the times, but this just made like Tempest so much more enjoyable for me. I really like the mid-range, and I'm sure like all the Tempests are happy to having it, right? I don't see a world that they gonna actually come with a better instance than this, because maybe they will, but I'm just saying, like, I'm really loving Tempest class right now because of these answers. So then we have here, what do you say here, Skirt Word or something like that. The Crosswinds, critical hits now cause your blades to split in 4. So when you critical hit, you're gonna see like these winds coming into the target, and they're just gonna do some extra damage, some extra UE damage. Hurricane Hitch, this one is very simple, pretty much just gonna empower you and your Zephyrs to have the Crosswinds effect. And last but not least, we have Glory to Castra. This will give your Vortex, also increases your primary attack speed for 3 seconds after hitting the enemy. Like, so when you put all of these, you're just gonna do insane amount of damage. Look at those numbers. Like it's just incredible, right? So I'm really enjoying this one. It is a boss build, dungeon raids, even like for everything. I feel like the other one I shared, maybe it's gonna be easier to move around the world, but this one here, I just love it. So quick change here, quick change, because we don't have as many dashes as before, but now we are using the 4 pieces grace. The 4 pieces grace, actually, I tested with both sets. I tested with the 4 pieces glooms, that is gonna give you the boost on your damage and the boost on your crit. Also works if you don't have 4 pieces grace. That also works, also does very good damage. But this one, actually I had a higher damage output. I was not expecting. I was, but I wasn't, because Grace recently it got shadow nerf, or at least it feels that way. But in reality, whenever I did it and I tested out, he actually did more damage. So 4 pieces Grace. So the way you do the 4 pieces, every time you hit the target 5 times, is gonna do an additional damage. So you're gonna hit a lot of times. Let me tell you. Hey, look how many times are we hitting the target. So you can imagine like how much, just how many like extra hits are we getting, right? It's a lot of damage. And if you have the Wolf Heart, which is the 5-star gem, if you're free to play, maybe you're gonna be like me and you don't have. But if you have 4 pieces Grace with the Wolf Heart, it's just like insane damage, because they literally kept stacking on each other. And you're just probably gonna blow up your damage even higher. So 4 pieces Vitus, 4 pieces Grace. It is working very, very well. Here on the gems, I'm using the Morn Squall. Really good gem. I love it, especially if you're gonna play mid range, close range, even like at the long range. It doesn't matter, because you're gonna go and you're gonna play around. You always gonna have a mob around you. Most likely this is gonna always trigger at least 1 or 2 stacks, and if it triggers 3 stacks, it is just a huge damage boost. I highly recommend, if you're free to play or low spender, to go for this gem. Try to get as max copies as you can. Please try to get as many copies as you have, because I think in the next patch is gonna be harder. So I'm just telling you, go for it now. Maybe there's gonna be a change. Maybe they are saying that maybe they're gonna remove from the market and this or that. I think maybe nothing is gonna change, but if it's gonna change, maybe it's gonna be the Turlik pearls that is gonna be useful. Hopefully, even if it's Turlik pearls, I feel like these may be still good to get. But to be honest, I think right now I have copies enough to get like these to like rank 7 or rank 8. So I am pretty happy with that. If you get your 2 stars to rank 7 or rank 8 down the line, try to push for rank 9 or rank 10, but that's gonna take a long time. And to be honest, you until like you just needed to have like rank 6 or rank 7, and you get like the most out of the gem. So don't worry about it. Get your rank 5, get your rank 6, get whatever you have, because you won't regret to have this gem. Now we have here the Bloodsoaked Jade, increased damage and increased movement speed. You already know I'm a huge fan of the movement speed on this one. Fervent Fang, every time you hit 10 times, you're gonna give a debuff to the target. Not only that, increases your elite and boss damage by 3%. So this gem at rank 5, you get it from the battle pass. It's gonna give me a 16% increased damage, so it's really good. I love it. Here, Roiling Consequence, it is the second best gem in the game for me, but the best gem overall, like when it comes to damage, because it just gives you a lot of crit, does AoE damage, burns the target, does more critical hit chance to burning targets. It's crazy. Okay, so just get 1 copy of the Bloodsoaked Jade and then just invest everything on Roiling Consequence, because it is just that crazy. Now we have here Mother's Lament. For me, I like to have 2 dual crit gems, because, you know, like crit is just king. Like if you're not critting, you want to do less damage, and I just think like it is still worth it, especially for free to play, to have both of these ones. Now we have here the Pen Clasp. Every time you have a dot on the target, it doesn't need to be your dot, it can be your pets, it can be like your players. So very good, increased damage, super good. I like it. Now we have here the Viper's Bite. The Viper's Bite is just here. It's my last dot gem, and I think in the future I may replace it. But for now, I really like it, because every time I have it, it's just gonna trigger my Pen Clasp instantly. And last but not least, we have my favorite 1-star in the game, Berserker Eye. Increases all damage and the critical hit chance. Man, like, do I need to say anything? Like, this gem is just like completely bonkers, man. So this is the build. Let me show you the Paragon to do the highest damage possible. You go to an Uncanny, Unseen Dynamism. Then we have here the Gifted, Superiority, and Fury. And of course, we're gonna go with the Lightning Rod. And listen, I'm just gonna do like a quick test, so you guys understand the damage that you guys can do with this. So the way you wanna trigger is like, you first gonna buff up, then you're gonna put the Vortex, and then you Squall, okay? Buff up, Vortex, Squall. That's the rotation. Buff up, Vortex, Squall. So buff up, Vortex, Squall, and then you just do like crazy damage, man. You just like literally do crazy. 5 million. 5 million bursts, man. 5 million. Oh, look at this. Look at this continuous damage, man. Bro, I never had these numbers happening on my screen. Like, literally, never I got it, right? So, 3 million damage at 16 seconds as a free-to-play player, man. Like, this is just nutty. Like, literally, it is just nutty. I love it. I think it is really, really good. There is a change that sometimes you can also do, like if you're like with a very strong party and you just want to go and you want to speed run things. I mean, just go with this. Just go with the brawler. Make yourself bigger. Make yourself at home. Relax. Go with your buddies. And this, you know, I'm just gonna become like even bigger. And even if you want to maximize your damage even further, you can go like to your warband. You can change the room from protector to attacker. Personally, I always use most of the time, except if you like I don't know, like gauntlet or like challenge rift or something that I really need to push the DPS, then I go with the attacker, because if I change to the attacker, I'm just gonna have like an increased damage even further. Like, see, if now I go and I try to DPS like with the damage build, maybe we're gonna have even higher damage than before, which I think that's what is gonna happen. So let's go here. Let's do a second damage test again. Let me reset. So we're gonna buff up, we're gonna Vortex, and we're gonna Squall, and then you just do a lot of damage. Oh, I just noticed that my pet is not attacking, so my pet is bugged. So the way, if your pet is bugged, if he's not attacking, don't worry. The way you do it, you log out. Okay, you gotta have to log out. Then whenever you log in, the pet will now attack. It's just a weird bug. I hope that in the future they will fix it. Put it in the defensive, which is also another way. Now, since we're talking also about the pet, I can go here and tell you that you don't want to use the savior because it is useless in PvE. You want to always go with, for example, like the brand troll. Let me actually remove the skin. You know, to be honest, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the skin. Let's remove it, because then I don't know which pet I have. And that's like the biggest issue that I have like with these Murloc skins, is that I don't see the pet. So now I know which pet I have, and I know that if I see the dragon with me, I'll have lingering nodes. These lingering nodes is just gonna increase once again the damage. Is like a armor break. I don't think it will stack with my armor break, because my armor break just does more. But if I had like a legendary lingering wounds like with a 37%, that will be completely insane, right? So let's go here. Let's do the last one. The last one. This is the boss. So let's do on the boss, because I think the boss, it is a stronger one, right? So we buff up with Vortex, and then we just gonna do insane amount of damage. This is like the boss. So we are on the 3 million on the boss. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, man. 3 million on the boss. I'm sure like on that one, we're gonna do even higher. So, I mean, do I need to say anything else? This is pretty much, you're just gonna smash. We can do a dungeon, so you see how quick this is gonna be. It is one of my favorite builds, because you pretty much can literally just solo everything. Like, you literally solo everything. You don't need anyone else with you. Like, I've been carrying, like, again, I'm having like this problem that I'm having a lot of AFKs. I don't know, maybe it's a thing. Maybe there's a lot of like new players on my server, but it has been a problem. Oh, so we have a golden boss. Okay, this is actually perfect for us to try to check our DPS. Let's see it. Only one boss. This is like the ultimate dummy test. Buff up, Vortex, and let's go. Let's see how much. Look at the damage, man. Look at the freaking damage, man. It's just nutty. It's just nutty. Like, we go here, we Squall, we Vortex, and I think we might be. Are we gonna go? Listen, we are full damage. Full damage. Buff up again, man. Look at this. Look at, man. Oh my God, 6 million. 6 million. Let me see what is like the highest damage. Look at this. Rolling Surf and your Crosswinds, they do most of the damage. This was nasty. This was like very, very good. Was the perfect way to end this video. So go there, go test it out. This is gonna melt everything, like literally everything. It's insane. So thank you for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.